Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Char Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, best friends gather around and talk about the news in gaming. This week, we have with us, as always, Justin.
Hi. I forgot I should actually say something and not just wave.
We also have Lo.
How's it going, everybody?
And today, we have a very special guest with us. We have Anthony from Mellow Gaming. You do Mellow Gaming Recommends, and you also do a podcast, Cryptocalypse.
Yeah. Hello. How you doing? You all right?
You're a whiz. You're a whiz kid.
Yeah, I do too much.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, what's
The house isn't far from here, where he lives. You know.
Really?
It's not far. It's in Basingstoke. I just come back from there actually.
Oh, that's an actual house?
Yeah. It's a real street. It's where he lives. His family's house. Whatever they're called. Where he gets locked in a cupboard.
The Dursleys.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Can you visit the cupboard?
Well, this took a dark turn.
Can you go inside
It's just
the cupboard
someone's
for
house.
a weekend and like hang out and pretend you're Harry?
Yeah. That's what.
That sounds pretty great.
But it's just some guy's house apparently.
Does it actually have a Harry Potter closet under the stairs?
Yeah, they literally they found the right house for the job and they used it. So it was
That's really
like,
cool.
yeah.
All right.
I wanna
Anyway,
go to
I've
England
derailed
now.
your podcast. I've derailed your podcast already. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm just trying to not throw out my voice because it's dying.
Awesome.
I have 3 beers here, and I'm probably not going to drink any of them because my throat hurts.
Chug,
Oh.
chug, chug, chug.
Chug.
Yeah, chug it. This is good radio.
That's a Red Bull, actually. All
Podcast.
Oh,
No pressure.
lame.
right. Yeah. So you
I
want
have
to
my
tell
orange juice
you want to
and
tell the
tequila.
folks about
This is all I
yourself?
have.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Apple juice. Yes.
Because I kind of said what your channels are, but I didn't say what
Yeah.
you do, like what kind of stuff you do.
Well, Mellow Gaming as the channel is mostly Let's Plays. Usually with just any of my buddies get together, play some games, pick some stuff out, and just play through them. But Mellow Gaming Recommends is like a video series of recommendation videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do like you know, the YouTubers. There's a lot of the angry YouTubers who hate everything.
Yeah.
I want to avoid that. I want to actually be like, hey, try this out, and not do the games that everyone bloody talks about. Like, you know, do something different. Like the next episode I'm doing should be out on Monday, the 10th, which is about a game called Missile Cards, which up until last week had only sold about 400 copies.
Wow.
That's
That's
okay.
wow.
Yeah, but it's been
Super
released.
obscure.
It got released on iOS last Wednesday, and it's now sold 4,160 through iOS.
better.
So it's found its market there a little bit. So yeah, that's the next episode. But I usually pick up something obscure, and there's also Cryptocalypse, which is like a fortnightly review anything podcast. Just review what we feel like on that.
Yeah.
Review
I wish
tournament
Americans used the word fortnightly. Or
Yeah.
Fortnite in general.
Yeah.
It's a missed opportunity on our side of the pond.
We were going to do it weekly, but the podcast originally. But I can't watch enough stuff in a week for that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
fortnightly's a better idea.
Yeah. I can vouch for that because
Yeah.
when we get into the video game section, I've only played one video game, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what it is.
Persona 5.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Good guess.
Clearly.
So yeah, let's get
No.
into your topic a little bit here. You came on and you said you wanted to talk about speedruns because you were watching Summer Games Done Quick. So
Hell yeah.
So I went over to Summer Games Done Quick and I started watching a little bit of that. I watched not all of it, but like most of the
It'd be amazing if you watched all of it. It's been on for 7 days. Like,
I know, right? But no, I watched oh god, what was it? The Super Mario Relay, like
oh yeah,
that's
Mario
really
Bros. 3.
good. Where they play through all
Yeah.
of the Mario Brother games, like the ones on the NES and the Super Nintendo,
Yeah,
back to back, and that was
yeah. I
really
caught some
exciting.
Mario 3 part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that was so exciting because they had 3 different people there and they're all on different teams and they're trying to they switch out players every now and then, each game.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was exciting to watch.
But yeah, it's been really good the whole this year. Like I think when I checked last night, they were edging towards $1 million collected, which is crazy.
I think it's like 1.5
Nice.
now.
God blimey.
For
Yeah, it usually ramps
Doctors
up on the
Without
last day.
Borders, right?
Yeah, Medicine Sans Frontier. Yeah. But,
Gotta milk
the
your fan.
French title. Yeah. Yeah, actually, it always does remind me of Metal Gear. But yeah, they've done stuff like they had the Tetris Grandmaster relay. I think that was yesterday. That was the speed run. That's crazy. That when you watch that because they play when it's invisible, which is crazy. When you get to the title credits, everyone thinks of Tetris as a casual thing, but it's not in Japan. It's mental. So that's the version they're playing is the mental fast-paced one. And they covered Assault Android Cactus, which is it's a game I've done a video of.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I won a copy from you on your video.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, because I had a spare Steam key, so I gave it away.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game. They did a co-op relay. That's up on their YouTube channel now to watch. It's worth watching because the guy doing the commentary was really good. He was actually explaining the game in detail, which is better than some of the ones you watch. And the guy's doing the commentary and he's just memeing the whole way through it. It's not great. Yeah. That stuff's irritating. I've noticed this year there's a lot less people. I think they've vetted who they're having on and given them rules because there's a lot less people using the occasional slurs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Usually
I've never watched them from the previous, so I didn't really know that. Watching the announcers now, they're kind of just bland, kind of.
The announcers have always been pretty by the book. It's the guys doing the commentary.
Oh yeah.
They have their buddies on there, and every now and again they'll it's been a problem the last few years
where they'll just take the microphone and start saying stuff.
Well, they were doing stuff like they'd work in transphobic or homophobic slurs into their stuff, and
you probably don't want that for a charity stream.
Yeah. So it seems like they've got it under control this year because they banned a few people last year.
Oh wow!
But it's been really good. I think been excellent, and good cause. They put a lot of effort in. There's also a pinball one going on at the same time, where they're probably people playing pinball games.
Really?
That's cool. Like on actual tables?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I feel like that'd be hard to record.
Yeah, the capture's not so good on those.
You can set up a couple cameras and then just switch between them.
Oh, no,
like set up cameras in the table.
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
So like a multi, like a security camera type view, where it's like multiple.
You want the camera spinning around? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that.
Like motion sensor cameers. So when it goes past them, that becomes the main one. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I love that. I love pinball though. I used to play pinball a lot back in the day. And it was a thing.
You were a pinball wizard?
Yeah, I used to play a mean pinball. I wasn't deaf, dumb, and blind though.
It's probably good.
Yeah. So, have you ever tried any speedrunning yourself? Like, because when I watch these guys speedrun, and then they talk about different levels of speedrun, like beginner strats or this, and then you advanced, you do all these other different things. Kind of makes me think, oh, you know what, I might be able to do that. But then I realize to be a speedrunner, you need to watch, you need to look through the code and decipher things.
There's the point where it starts going beyond being really good at the game, which is what they usually call beginner strats, is just being so good you can play through the game really fast.
Yeah.
And then it goes into exploiting certain tricks in the game or exploiting bugs to get further. That's why they have glitchless runs, which are rarely actually glitchless. They're usually taking advantage of bugs and all sorts in those.
I remember seeing you complaining about one for Mirror's Edge. It's
he was completely using bugs. He was using tricks to boost himself up walls and stuff, which that's cheating. That's not how the game works. That's a bug. I know. I worked I didn't work on Mirror's Edge, but the guys behind me were working on Mirror's Edge. I used to work at EA. That's a bug, definitely. But I used to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You know that when you unfinish the game, you can play as Richter Belmont. And I used to charge through the game with him, and I got it down to 45 minutes eventually, which was ridiculous. But really good players of Richter Belmont can do 20, and it's insane.
Wow.
You can charge through that, yeah. But and there's Shadow Complex as well. I can do the New Game Plus on that in no time. I think the quickest I've done it is
an achievement for it too. I think I got that when it first was out.
Yeah. The speed run on that, it's actually quite easy, and I don't even use the cheat one that drops you into the final room. It's just because the game's built for speed running. There's sections of the game where secret paths will open if you get to them quick enough and don't touch certain areas. So you can just skip whole sections of the game. Shadow Complex is a great speed run game.
I must just be really bad at speedrunning then.
Yeah. I don't understand speedrunning. I get that it's a sport type thing, but I don't get it. If I play a game, it's because I want to play the game.
Well, didn't you ever try and finish the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog as fast as possible? Because that was a thing for me and my friends as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone does that. Like you try and get it sub 30 seconds on Green Hill Zone 1. And that was like
I mean, I don't really play Sonic that much. So
Or like Mario 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could do Mario 1-1 perfectly, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly joined time jumps the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
There was a while when I was watching like the Ocarina of Time speed runs, like the glitch runs. And I found it so fascinating because they'd have like 3 hearts, like start at the first area and just like do like some cool backflip like bugs to through.
It's
like,
faster
through
to
the
backflip
walls.
on Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's one where like I think they were in like the Deku Tree zone and like they like backflipped through the walls and like ended up in like Zora's domain or something, and then like flipped through that and ended up in like Kakariko outside the Shadow Temple, and there's all this weird stuff.
I can't remember which game it was. There's one game where they did something where by planting certain objects down certain places, they were basically writing the code in the game. Like you'd put it down and it would trick the game into thinking it's supposed to load something else next. Really? And so when you walk through the door, it'd like boom and load you into the last level or something. Like that was at last year's one. But
I know there was something with I think like Link to the Past or something where you can like glitch an item into becoming another item. And that's how people would get through parts of the game because they'd get like, you know, the bug catching net or something that you don't really need, and like glitch that into being like the flippers or something that you do need, and they'd skip that whole section, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but I don't know how it's done. Like I don't pay attention.
Looking forward to the next one when they start getting the Breath of the Wild speed ones, because Breath of the Wild came out a little too late to submit for this one, and people were still locking the time down. Yeah, because literally all you need to do in the game is get off the plateau and fight Ganondorf. That's all you got to do in the whole game.
Yeah.
I would not fight Ganondorf.
He's actually just Ganon. Ganondorf is the humanoid form, and he's not in it.
Yeah, we got a Zelda nerd on the show.
Yeah, Ganondorf's the Gerudo, I know, or Gerudo.
Gerudo.
But I did hear that they were doing like some Super Monkey Ball speed runs, and like I meant to check that out because apparently it was insane. Like the way you can like basically make it seem like he can jump.
Yeah, there's some weird physics on Monkey Ball sometimes, and if you hit the edges just right, you can launch the ball in the air. And I love the Monkey Ball ones because sometimes they're just like hurtling through the level at 300 miles an hour, just like bump straight through the exit, like they're playing snooker. Yeah, it's more like watching someone play like crazy pool or something, like than Monkey Ball. It's awesome. But yeah, some games done quick should be checked out, and they'll do another one in winter.
Yeah, it's real fun. You're the reason why I started watching it, and I'm like, you know, I might as well check these out. Like I follow them on Twitch, and I'm like, you know, I'll check them out.
It's still on today, isn't it? It's today's the last day.
Yeah, they're still on. They were doing Mario 64 when I was last watching.
Nice. Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, I think just the Mario games in general are just fun to watch because it's just like people doing insane platforming that I can never do.
Yeah. Mario's the one where they write the code. There's something to do with like the turtle shells or something.
Yeah, like
and it like glitches the game out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some crazy thing with that. Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway.
All right. So since we're done talking about speedruns for now, let's move straight into the games that we've been playing. Justin, what have you been playing recently?
Not a lot, actually. Like I've been watching more stuff that I've been playing because we re-upped HBO Now, like early and before Game of Thrones starts. And I've been watching through like Westworld and Silicon Valley, stuff like that. A few movies too, but I was doing a lot of Final Fantasy IX the last few days, trying to get ready for that.
The game,
because I was saying on Charged Up that like I'm getting like married and graduating and stuff in a few months. So like around the time the Final Fantasy VI ends, like I'll be like basically timing it to when school ends and stuff like that. So I kind of want to like start the auditions and stuff for Final Fantasy IX before all of that madness starts. So like I can have the cast and like give them all their lines, and then like they can be getting stuff in while I'm basically gone for like a month or so when the the holidays and everything. So I've been trying to rush through that so I can actually get all that prep started. And then we played a little bit more PlayerUnknown. And that game's still good. I've been kind of getting the itch to play it. We should do that again sometime this weekend.
Every time I hear someone talk about it, I just need to play it.
Yeah, same.
I don't get what makes it different to the culling. Like, I quite prefer the culling side because I know it's more open world, but the culling to me sounds more concentrated.
Yeah, I tried
like
the
that.
calling. I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
I don't know what
felt
that
kind
is, but
of stale and boring. It's like another one of those arena hunting and gathering. You know what it is? It's because it had crafting in it, and I just can't stand crafting anymore.
Yeah, the game is about like resource management, and survival, and stuff. Like you don't need the crafting stuff in there.
Yeah,
it's less tense because it takes some of that out of it.
Just give me a gun with bullets, and I'll shoot someone.
Right. It still has like attachments and stuff. You can pick up attachments and put that on there. That's kind of like crafting. But I technically got my first kill, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
We were playing with.
You're a man now.
Yeah, we were playing with the other Justin again, and like I was kind of like hugging his leg. I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm just gonna follow you. Like we're like me and you to the end. And so we were like the last like 15 or 20 left. It was actually pretty impressive, and we're like up on like kind of like hiding it on this hill, like in the last zone when it closed in, and I totally meant to fall down the hill, and landed like next to a tunnel, which I didn't know there were like underground areas. So like I was kind of peeking in this tunnel, and I'm like, what is that down there? Like that. Can I go down there? But like the blue wall was already coming in, so it's like I'm not gonna check. And then I saw someone coming out of that tunnel, like running right in front of the blue wall, just like no. So I was like, oh crap, Justin, there's a guy down there, and like threw a frag grenade down there, and then like kind of ran around to the side of the hill, so that like, it wasn't seen as he was coming out of the tunnel. And the frag grenade blew up, and then I went back around to the entrance of the tunnel, and he was prone, just kind of like like struggling to walk. He was by himself. He was going to die anyway. So I just shot him to put him out of his misery. And I saw the 0 score killed whoever, and I was like, yes, I'll take it. Like, sure, he was probably already mostly dead from the blue wall, but I'll take it. So I felt pretty good about that.
Nice.
We still have a 1-1, but I got my first kill, so whatever.
Yeah, I haven't won one in a while.
And I also like technically I made someone else go prone because we got into a fist fight like in the very beginning of it, and I punched him until he was down, but then his buddy shot me before I could actually kill him. But those don't count as kills yet, so they're supposed to soon, I think.
I think it's just like if your teammate downs somebody and then like if you down somebody and then your teammate kills them, you get the count for the kill.
Maybe that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gotcha. And then Low gifted me Rivals of Aether in the Steam sale, which is a super cool little like kind of retro fighting game. Like I don't really know how to explain it. It is kind of like Smash Bros or like Brawlhalla or whatever, but there's 8 total characters, 2 of which are locked in the beginning, and they're a little more like simple than the obviously the Smash Bros characters that are based on something. There's like the water creature and like the nature, like the grass creature and like the fire creature, kind of elemental based, the rock creature, that kind of thing. And it's like basic movement, double jump usually, and I think 3 attack buttons. There's like a strong attack that's like your smash, you can hold it and punch. And then there's like a special attack, and then just like your regular kind of like combo attack. If you keep mashing that button, it does multiple moves in order. You can combine that stuff together. You jump in the air, do like smash down attacks, that like basic smash fighting stuff. But it has a really cool style to it. I love the like kind of 2D like sprite, like really detailed sprite graphics. It has a really neat story mode to it. It's kind of simple. It's like a few screens of like static image on screen at once, and then you go into the next fight. But like each of these characters have like their main rival, so it's like you'll pick like the water character or something, and you'll go through the whole thing, and then like his rival will be like the grass one, or I don't remember exactly. It might be the fire one, but it's been a little while since I played.
I think I saw Game Grumps playing that ages ago, like a really early version of it.
Probably.
Like the sprite
I remember like the Super Best Friends played
nice.
it like when there was only like 3 or 4 characters and it was still in beta.
It's
so I
like
was kind of waiting for it to get more like fleshed out and released fully before I tried it out. But
it looks like a really boosted 16-bit game, doesn't it? Like
yeah, it is. It's kind of like there's all those like 2D Smash clones, that like Flash games and stuff like that. It's kind of like that, but like with original characters in it.
But good. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the characters are very unique styles. My favorite so far is the water character, because it's this really cute like whale like cat hybrid.
Nice.
Because it has like a blowhole, but it also has like paws. And so like one of its taunt is like it rolls over on its belly and just like paws a dew of water back and forth. It's so cute.
That's pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a really good variety of characters, and I definitely recommend checking it out. We still have to do some multiplayer sometime, but I've had a lot of fun with it so far. Yeah, that's mostly it.
Lo, what have you been up to?
I also got a copy of Rambles of Ether for myself. So I was playing mostly that. And yeah, Justin pretty much described it perfectly. It's the only, like, for me, it's like, it seems like the logical kind of rendition of Smash Brothers if it were like the Game Boy version or something like that, or like the Super Nintendo version or something. So yeah, really cool artwork. Like all the physics and everything makes a lot of sense. Some of the characters seemed a little kind of like they had like one hard specific like role to play, and I don't know. I feel like their kind of movesets are a little limited just for a few characters, but for the most part, yeah. He's a super tough offender. I forget what his name is, like Raster or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
All of his moves are like aerial moves, so it's like that's pretty much all you can really do is like attempt to juggle people, but not everybody can be juggled that easily. But anyways, it's a really cool game, and there's a couple of modes to it. I went through all the story stuff and I unlocked this. It's called like, I forget what it is, like Abyss mode or something like that. It's kind of like the challenge mode from like the Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl and stuff, but like it switches modes on you. It's just one continuous long game, and just kind of switches like objectives on you, just kind of randomly as you go through. And it's pretty cool. It's interesting. Keeps you on your toes. But yeah, mostly that, and it's pretty much all I've been playing this week. I haven't really had a lot of time for games.
Anthony, what have you been up to?
God, I've had to play a lot of missile cards again. That's the one I'm doing the video on next. Mostly because I'm really bad at making sure I've recorded the right footage. And I kept going through my footage going, did I never actually get beaten by a regular attack once in the whole game? So I had to record footage and make it happen. Been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Nice.
I just took that around my brothers and playing it with the family, 3 players. It's really hard to play 3-player split screen on a Switch screen. It's very, very cramped, especially battle mode. Fun though. And I've, like Missile Cards, that's a turn-based card game. Imagine Missile Command mixed with Solitaire. You have cards coming up in the hand. If they're an enemy attack, they drop off and come down into the screen towards your base. And if they're a rocket, you can charge them up and fire back. And that's how it sort of balances. It's quite cool. They actually you could easily turn it into a physical card game. It's that solid. But I've also been playing WWE Supercard because, of course, I have. I've been addicted to that for years now, which is worrying.
What is that?
WWE Supercard.
It's the wrestling card game on your phone.
Yeah, that's my great time.
Oh, it's a card game.
Yeah. Do you have top trumps in American Canada and all that? Do you have top trumps there?
I have no idea what that is, but from what I understand, that game is basically like a collectible card game. Like all you're doing is really collecting cards, and that's about it.
Well, Top Trumps is a game where you have they have a theme, like it'd be footballers or it'd be comic book characters or something, and everyone has stats. And when you start a game, you call out the stat, and if your stat's higher than your opponent's card that they're going to play, you beat them. And WWE Supercard is literally that with wrestlers. So you have power, toughness, charisma, speed, and you make a hand, and it'll go power, toughness is the thing. Play John Cena is your points more than theirs, you win. It's really simple, but I just keep playing it because it's easy to play when you're sitting on the toilet, I guess. And DC Universe. What's it called? DC Legends or DC Universe? Hold on a sec. What's that mobile phone one called? DC Legends, the mobile phone game, which is I've been playing that for ages. I get nowhere on it. It's one of those ones where it gets to the point where, because it's free to play, you can't make any progress at all.
Yeah.
Unless you start coughing up cash. but I keep playing it because it's just turn-based combat and it's simple and fun. But yeah, I mean, mostly it's been between Mario Kart and Missile Cards this week. I suspect next week I'll be playing Overwatch a fair bit if that update comes out.
Is that not out yet?
Certain.
Not
the new character, only on the public test realm. But they released the update a week or so, 2 weeks ago with the moon base, which is actually fun. I had a quick go on that. That was quite a good map. But yeah, I've been editing a lot this week, so there's not been as much game playing.
Yeah.
Once this video's done, I'm getting back on Persona 5.
Yeah, you need to get back on that.
Yeah, I need to finish it because you finished it.
I'm not even close. At least I don't think I am. I'm on the final level, but you know how Persona games are, where it's not really the final level.
Oh, the final level is about 20 hours of gameplay usually.
Just a quick producer's note. I do hear an echo, so if you guys could just turn on your audio a little bit.
Mine's on earphones. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah. It's a little bit easier for me to edit in the end.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thanks.
Echo still?
No, I'll find out later. I'll find out. All right. So yeah, Persona 5. I've been playing Persona 5 basically all week. Game counter is at 156 hours.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say at least 30 of those hours are idle time. Because I just like leave the game on and I watch like WCW like Super Brawl or something stupid. But yeah, that's still a good game. I'm just in that final stretch of game where I just want it to be over and I just want to move on to the next thing.
You've literally played more than double what I've played of it. I've done 67 hours, I think it was that.
I broke up with my my teacher as my girlfriend. I broke up with her.
Oh no!
Oh, commiserations.
And I started dating Makoto because she seems like the
Nice
girl
choice.
next door. You know, like she seems kind of sweet and
You
smart.
slut.
You can date the doctor as well, can't you? You can date the doctor, and can't you date the drunk journalist?
I guess you could. I haven't built up my relationship with her yet. I was thinking about the doctor, the one that like does weird experiments on you.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I have this weird like calling to her. Like I'm like, yes, experiment on me. I am your guinea pig.
Maybe that's part of the experiment.
I started building up my relationship with Yusuke, the artist, and
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like the Persona games don't have like homosexual relationships in it, which that's fine, whatever. That's your game. You want to have your vision, but the way the character of Yusuke is written, he feels like a romance option, and I don't know. I kind of wish they kind of went with that giant like that leap, you know, coming to the 21st century.
Yusuke's at least flexible, I think, with his tastes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
he's flamboyant.
Yeah, he's a flamboyant, hurt artist, sad artist, man. It's still a good game. I just want to finish it, and I'll tell you my final thoughts on it, which will probably be a month from now. When I was joking about that last week, but I think that's really going to be the case. I'm playing more WWE Tap. Sorry?
You know, there's a new game plus, right?
Yeah, I know, but I never play those. Like,
it's a good thing to play in Persona games because all your social links stay how they earn. You can fill up all the other ones.
I've already played through the main content of that game. I'm done. I have like 50 other games I need to play. Like, I still need to finish Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And I'm gonna be getting a Switch in a few weeks, so I'm probably gonna get Splatoon 2 and like whatever. Like,
if you get Splatoon 2, tell me because I intend to get that, and I'm gonna need people to play with.
So other than that, I'm playing WWE Tap Mania. I've moved on to that one. It's for Android only. I talked about that a little bit a few weeks ago. And it's basically just a tapper game. You tap on your phone, beat up the guys. But I got to the point where my assisting wrestlers are so much more powerful than me that I just leave it. And they give me all this money and I just level them all up. Highest rank
What a
I've got
fun
to,
game.
300 or 400. The numbers keep getting higher, Justin. I have oh god damn it, who's Shinsuke Nakamura on my team now. So so that's cool.
The numbers on my scale keep getting higher, but that's not a game.
Or is it? How do you know?
Why can't I find Tasmania?
Because I'm losing.
Do you have an Android phone?
Yeah, it's not on. Yeah, God, don't tell me they haven't released it in the UK. That's
Maybe they
outrageous.
haven't. That'd be silly.
I do need to play any WWE game that comes out because I'm a mug. Maps for WWE Minecraft. What?
Oh, that sounds wrong. Abort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Abort.
Yeah.
it's a trap.
You've reached
It's
that
amazing.
section of the store.
I searched WWE and it's brought up Mr. Bean around the world.
Oh, okay, sure. Why not? Let's
That could be
do
okay.
it.
Yeah, it's definitely not available in the UK. This is an outrage.
All right. So yeah, that's all I've really been playing is those two things. So let's
Nice.
move on into the news.
Newsy news tune, a newsy news tune.
Are you gonna keep doing them live? Because then I don't have to edit it in anymore.
I mean, I kind of have to now, don't I?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Plus, I like when he does it.
We have to give the people the authentic experience, Thomas.
Yes, we do.
You guys should like barbershop quartet it every week.
I tried.
We've done
It
that
didn't
before.
work.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I thought we did it pretty well.
Yeah, you can sync it up properly in the edit. Don't worry about the lag and everything. You can, like sync it up, like you know.
Mhm.
All right. We were talking about. Oh no, that's not. That's weird. Anyways, let's move into a little bit of quick news here. We got Evil Genius 2 has been announced. It's a full-fledged sequel, which is pretty damn cool. I don't know if you ever played Evil Genius 1, but that was a pretty sweet game.
No
back
idea
in
what it is.
2004.
Me neither.
It's been 13 years since it's been released, and if you never played it before, you could probably pick it up for cheap on GOG or Steam or something like that. And what this game is like you play as like a James Bond villain, and you have a secret lair, and you kind of map out your lair, and special agents come in and try to like infiltrate your lair, and so you have these traps everywhere where you can like have them killed, and then
Like
your take them.
Kind of like Dungeon Keepers.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
spy-based
it's like
dungeon keeper.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was really cool.
Nice.
I'm pretty happy Rebellion is making one. Apparently, it's like due to the success of like all their other franchises, like Sniper Elite 3 and 4, that they're able to do that, which is pretty cool.
I do like Dungeon Keeper and War of the Overlord. That's like the spiritual successor. So
Nice.
Keeping up with some more lightning news, we got FNAF 6 has ceased production. So
Nah, it hasn't.
I know, like,
That's gonna just
I'm
appear.
gonna get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. So this is like a huge franchise. It's got 6 games, including like that RPG one. They're making a movie about it. It's got books, huge fan base. And Scott Kaufman has said like he's ceasing production on 6. He's done this kind of stuff in the past where he's like, oh, I'm not working on this stuff anymore, and then he's come back and made a game or 2 games. I don't know, like if he doesn't feel like doing them anymore, he probably shouldn't do them. He rode on this huge money train that he has a lot of fans behind now, and he still says he wants to work on a VR game, which would be pretty cool in the FNAF setting. I think it would be pretty cool.
I'm sure he can do whatever he likes now. He's probably made enough money to sit back and you know, do some passion projects and then come back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a huge series. I can't imagine it just dying off.
No.
Yeah.
It's got enough money to not die. I mean, they sell toys that in the local Toys R Us for kids. Like,
I know that
seems wrong. But then I remember when I was a kid, you got Aliens and RoboCop figures.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's true.
is it that weird? Really? It's not, is it?
No,
So-
those are like actually R-rated movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Being an adult when you're looking at being a kid is so weird because you're like, oh, this is not for your age, and then you realize like when you were a kid you did so much dumb shit and stuff you shouldn't have done.
Well, yeah, there was that news about like Breaking Bad action figures at Toys R Us that were pulled from shelves because parents are mad that there were Breaking Bad figures for kids. But like for one, Toys R Us is also for adults. There's plenty of like actual figures of things. And 2, like kids did have things like, you know, Aliens and whatever else that were R-rated properties, whereas Breaking Bad is about meth, but it's never worse than TVMA. So
Yeah.
I bet they ignored the Clerks figures and stuff like that, like Jane Silent Bob figures. Like, yeah, got far more prolific drug dealers. You know, they've been doing it a lot longer than Heisenberg has.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last piece of Lightning Round news that we have is in the Zelda DLC, the story Zelda DLC, you'll still play as Link. There was some speculation, including us, that we thought that maybe you play as Zelda or the other Guardians?
Champions.
Champions.
Yeah. Have you finished Breath of the Wild, though?
I have.
Yep.
Because it does clearly point to a continuing story at the end of it.
I never really interpreted it that way. I just kind of thought of it as like an open-ended ending. It's just like, hey, we're going back to our everyday life. Like, come on, we got to do this thing. It's like, it wasn't a good ending, but it was just basically saying, okay, back to business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would let you carry on after that. Like there would be some little random mission to do. It was kind of weird that it goes and, like, for an open world game to keep your save just before Ganon and doesn't let you go and just wander around and clean up. You have to sort of leave Ganon and then go clean up and then come back if you want to get the ending again.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting about this is, like, if it is a flashback, it's going to have to be before the champions were all, like, killed or whatever. And that means it's before, like, Hyrule was taken over by Ganon. Like, basically that 100 years before, like, Link was put to sleep. So that means, like, they'd have to completely, like, change the world because they have to take out, like, all the, the ruins and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd
be interesting.
So I don't really know how that's going to work. Yeah, it's a strange choice, but and apparently there's also supposed to be a new dungeon, which I'm not sure how they'll introduce that. If it's just like, hey, here's the world before, Ganon attacked it, or like while Ganon was attacking it, I guess.
It might be a self-contained area, like something else you go to, maybe.
It could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious, but
if you go
I understand.
Island.
I wouldn't expect you to not play as Link because they'd have to completely have everything redone for the new character and everything. And this way, they can just have it be, let's say you get new equipment and stuff in this DLC, and even though it's a flashback, it's like that stuff is still around the world when you jump back to the regular game, unless you just pull it from a separate save file, which would be weird. I don't know. It makes sense to me. That's all I got.
All right. Sorry, I was chugging a beer. This is why you watch the video version, guys. Okay, let's continue on with some Nintendo news. We talked about Splatoon a little bit earlier. So we got a bunch of... There was like a Splat...
Direct.
Nintendo Direct with Splatoon. Basically a Splat Direct.
They splatted directly on your face.
Exactly. Thank you for saving me.
Yep.
Was there two guys competing for how much Splat Direct they could get on?
Oh. Why?
All right, so we'll start with a little bit of the Nintendo Switch Online app. It's going to be launching July 21st, which is the release date of Splatoon. It connects you with Splatnet 2, which connects you to Inkopolis, which is their hub, their community hub for the game. And in this hub, you can find a display of player stats and gear, as well as a player's lifetime inkage, which I guess is like their KDR, kill death ratio.
How much ink they spread everywhere, I guess, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Or yeah, actually, that's right. Yeah,
the coverage, because it's not really. There's kill death thing in it, but it's not really that, is it?
Yeah,
it's a good game. Splatoon. It's such a good game.
Their total ink coverage, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Players can invite others through a messaging service and social networks to join events for their new Salmon Run co-op mode, which is PvE.
Can you see that fish word one more time for me?
Salmon.
Salmon?
Salmon.
Just curious how you say salmon.
It's a razor salmon.
Yeah.
No. Salmon. The L is silent.
Salmon.
Yeah, salmon. See, that sounds so much better, right?
Yeah, so you get private. You can get invited to private league and Splatfest battles. The app will also allow you to communicate with others using voice chat, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you have to contact someone to tell them to join a voice call outside of the app.
Yeah.
Why don't you just use Discord?
As long in the Discord or
It's really weird that the Switch doesn't have a microphone built into it. Like, if you actually look at every Nintendo console, there's very few that have never had a microphone. Like, even the Famicom had a microphone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, the SNES had a microphone adapter for a game. There was the little microphone for the N64. Like, they love microphones. And
doesn't the Wii U have a microphone in it too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
got
microphone and camera, but it sucks because like the gamepad itself has audio, so there would be constant interference because like the mic and the speaker are next to each other.
Yeah,
that wasn't good.
You just put your
Like at least this is still it's technically still an attachment. You can get that Splatoon headset that has a microphone in it. That is a microphone attachment for the system if you think of it that way.
why isn't there just a USB-C plug-in microphone?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You could plug it into the Pro controller, plug it into the bottom of this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
That would probably still work.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No one's gonna get this stupid thing anyways, because you're just gonna go into Discord or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hell yeah. Actually,
I don't know,
just
there's like the Splatnet stuff. The Splatnet stuff itself is pretty cool.
yeah.
The way that you can like set up multiplayer games, you can see each other's Splat stats. Just fun to say, by the way.
Splat stats.
There's apparently like Splatnet exclusive gear, like stuff you can only get through the app and it like syncs to the game, which is interesting.
Cool.
So like if they keep doing this for different games, like having kind of communities instead of like the actual Miiverse that the Wii U had, if they just have like different sections of the Nintendo Online app for different games, I could kind of see that being like their own like built-in Reddit type thing, where like everyone is on that network and you just kind of hop into like the forum of whatever game you want, and you can talk about the game. You know, you've got like all the you can see their player stats, like how long they've played it. Like with Mario, you could check like, you know, or something like that. It could be an interesting thing to work on, but it would also be a lot.
Put something in to replace Miiverse, like because Miiverse was a pretty big thing in Splatoon.
I mean, you can do like there's still the in-game art and stuff, but it's not on Miiverse.
Right.
You basically just do it for the game.
That's
you
why
just
I looked at
draw on the
something
Switch screen.
social, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they couldn't get rid of the graffiti system. Like that was key.
Yeah, it's important. You just have ones that say Miiverse was a mistake or something, and splat it on the screen. Like,
Yeah, it's cool to see Nintendo doing this kind of stuff with their community, because back I think Modern Warfare 2 or 3, Call of Duty had something like that called Call of Duty Elite. You would sign up for that.
Oh yeah,
and it had stats and stuff like that.
yeah.
So
And then GTA
those
tried to
Battlefields?
with the social club, but it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember signing up to that. Battlefield had was there Battlefield Premium for a while, wasn't there? And you had like the early access to the multiplayer content, and that was like £40 for a year, and they did it for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically just for Battlefield Bad Company 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's
really?
stupid. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's good that they're not charging. Well, I guess they are charging for it, but it's $20 a year, and you get.
I'm glad
access
season passes
to
are dying.
They're online, and it's like tied in with all their other things. But yeah.
Yeah.
At
Moving
least
on.
Nintendo approach it differently, you know.
Moving on into some Splatoon 2 news, like actual Splatoon 2, the game, not the service. They're gonna have DLC included, kind of like how they did, I guess, in the first game, where they included like new weapons and maps and mode, or I don't know about modes, but gear.
There were new modes introduced in the first game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've never played it, so I don't really know.
Yeah, they had like a year worth of extra stuff being added to it, but it was all like they did like extra little things here and there. Was there a new mode in this one? Isn't there? There's some like horde mode type thing, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the salmon run.
one.
Yeah,
Salmon.
yeah.
I
remember seeing
Salmon.
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 It's always gonna be Salmon. I'm sorry.
Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon's a jazz pianist. I remember him. He's a really cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the weapons that they have announced so far are the Splat Brella and the Bubble Blower. I haven't seen these in action.
Umbrella seems pretty cool.
Have you seen it in action? Or
Yeah, they showed like it was in the direct. I watched it.
Okay.
Basically, like it acts like a normal gun, like it just kind of shoots a burst out in front of you. But then you can also open it to like defend yourself. But once you open it, then you can't open it again for a little while. So it's like a give and take. You have to figure out the best moments to open it up. But they showed it like, you do your shot and then you open it to defend against whoever shoots back at you.
So it's like the penguin opening his umbrella.
Yeah, you can actually keep it open when you're inking through like when you're squinting through the ink. So like you're covered in the ink, but you have an umbrella in front of you. And then I guess it's timed when it drops off. But yeah, that seems pretty unique, and I like it a lot. The bubble blower actually seemed like a special item because it showed it like it flings like obviously a bubble out, and then like that kind of floats down onto the field, and then just like explodes in a big burst. So I think that's one of like the activation things, not an actual weapon.
So like an ultimate or something.
Yeah,
they had really inventive weapons in the first game. Like it was. They could have just had guns that fired paintballs in different ways, and they went with rollers and like the sniper rifle that fired a long shot, didn't they?
Yeah, the bucket. I like the bucket a lot.
Yeah.
But it looks like they have a lot more variety now, especially with that dual wield pistol thing where you can like shoot in 2 different directions.
It's crazy. I wasn't big on the game when I first played the beta, and it's like they really did reinvent first person like shooter games. They did.
There's a reason it was so popular.
It's crazy. Yeah, it was great.
And in general, this one doesn't look like it's adding a lot of new stuff. Like it probably could have been an expansion. It feels like a Destiny 2 situation where it's like they took what worked and then just added on to it and like kind of fixed the underneath infrastructure that they couldn't just like patch with the original game to make it more functional and like better single player and stuff like that. But the main change I noticed from the direct that seemed really cool was instead of just like in the first game, your different items would have a certain number of slots that like would have special skills attached to them, like ink used would go down, so like your weapons would use less ink when you shot them, or like your movement speed would go up like when you start a match. Things like little buffs like that. It looks like in this one, instead of just being randomly unlocked after a certain number of points are gained, there's an actual store where you buy the different buffs and you attach them to your weapons and equipment. So like you have so many slots for each weapon and equipment, and then you buy whatever buffs you want for whatever price they cost, and then like you attach them to your weapon or whatever, and I assume you can't take them off once they're attached. So you have a lot more control over like the stuff you have, so it's not so wasted of like, I'm going to use this until it unlocks whatever it is. Oh, that's garbage, I'm not going to use it anymore. So that's pretty cool. It's more about like wearing what you want to wear and buffing it instead of like, I'm going to wear this because it gives me the best buff, even though I hate how it looks. And there's a cosmetic importance to these games, so I think that's a good idea.
Got to look pretty cool as a squid,
Yeah,
exactly. Look smart, yeah. I want to be a
also,
kid now. I wanna be a squid.
Marina, one of the new chicks, is going to be the internet's new waifu.
Oh yeah, is that who I've been seeing on Twitter all random?
Yeah, the black octoling. Yeah.
She looks kind of like what's her face from Overwatch, doesn't she? Who's the new one? Mexican one?
Oh,
Axe Wings. Sombra.
Sombra.
Sombra. Yeah, she's got that Sombra vibe to her.
Wait, there's a Mexican character named Sombra?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, surname's Rowe. Sombrero. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay classy, Overwatch.
Always.
Yeah, a couple of new things that they've also shown off in the Splatoon DLC stuff is the boat, which actually I think they might have shown that off before. I can't remember.
The new map?
Or it was maybe like a coastal city, or like it was on the coast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they showed that a little while. They showed like a island bit, something like that. Yeah.
And the other thing that I saw was it takes place underneath a bridge, and I thought it kind of looked like the ravine from Terminator 2 when they were in the LA ravine thing.
Nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Was it the Causeway or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Thing. Oh, it's cool.
I can never remember the real name for it, so I just call it
from Greece. The thing from Greece, where they race the cars through. Yeah,
I like Terminator a little bit more. Greece is fine.
Grease is a classic. What are you saying?
They also
I've only seen it
they
once.
also
Your mum
showed
loves
some
Grease.
of the enemies from the Salmon Run mode,
Mm.
and they're all like mechanized like ink spitters, but they're really cool designs. There's one that was like a snake thing, and it kind of like it floats like a foot or two above the map, and just like drops like spurts of ink from like different tubes on it.
Nice.
So it's like as you're running under it, like it could spit right on top of you. But I think like its weak spots are also on the bottom, so you have to like kind of go weave between the ones that are spitting out ink to get the ones that aren't spitting out ink. And there's another one that was like a flower that like just kind of like spits like a big wash of it whenever it opens. And yeah, there's really cool designs. Like they're putting a lot more like creativity into the designs of this game. That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, so the first Splatfest is going to take place in the demo before the game even releases.
Just crazy.
On
When is it?
July 15th. So July 15th, 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific, 6 to 9 Eastern.
Just do it all day.
And I think in the UK it says here a separate event at 6 p.m. on the same day.
Last time they did it like midnight for one of them. It was like, come on.
Oh,
man.
dick move.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But I will, just put it on all day.
Yeah, really.
You've got to stress test it. Like one of the games I worked on before was Battlefield Bad Company. You can't get a proper stress test from just 3 hours. You need to have the server running all day. It's not necessarily about how many people jump in at once. It's having it sustain for a long period of time. Because all that data's caching and building. You need to make sure it's flushing properly, or it's going to go wrong. That's why the Battlefield betas usually started off all right and then just got more and more broken as the days went on.
I think they just don't want to put the money into the servers for that long when they're not, when people aren't paying for the game yet.
I know, it's just Nintendo. God.
Yeah.
Still, great game. That Splatoon was, so I'm all for it.
Steam UI is getting some updates. Speaking of updates, so this isn't really official or anything, but the Valve was at Indigo 2017. I believe it's a Danish
This
connect.
is Netherlands, so
Is Danish and Netherlands the same thing?
I don't know.
Netherlandish.
Netherlandish. So the Netherlandians.
Yeah.
So Valve was at Indigo 2017. It's a biz dev conference in the Netherlands, and there were some slides that were really leaked from their conference. The first one shows there's some UI update. It's just saying that they're going to be refreshing it. It doesn't really give any real specifics. The real big updates that I found were from the library, for the library. So you can quick launch back into games, kind of like how the PlayStation 4 has that feature where you just boot up, you go put it to sleep and then boot it back up. I don't really know if that's
Also the Switch.
yeah, sleep mode.
The Switch is so cool.
Yeah.
I think the Xbox One has that too, but it's not really clear about it. It's like, yeah, we have that kind of, but like not really. I don't know.
Do we?
Let
us
You
know.
probably only access it if you've got Connect on or something.
Yeah.
No. Is that still a thing?
The Kinect? No, they killed that for a long time
good.
now.
Good. It's a really good paperweight, honestly. Fantastic.
I bought the Kinect for my original Xbox 360, and I played all the Dance Central games. They were pretty fun.
Nice.
They were good. I like those games. My brother has a new Kinect, but he mostly just uses it to like turn the system on when he's coming into the room.
It's a really good power button. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's like taking over everything right now is the voice commands and speaker stuff, right? Like Alexa and Google Home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Xbox was ahead of the curve, but they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So was Hey.
But my computer's always wanting to launch Cortana.
There you go.
I actually thought it was going to activate right when I said that, but it didn't. Cool.
So another cool update with the library feed update is you can discover games with activity, so like events, updates, and friend activity. So if there's like an event going on in GTA or something, you could take a look at in the library page, see what's going on. What I would I've been wanting for like a long time right now is an update so that I can sort my games by year released.
Yeah, better sorting things would be awesome.
Like, yeah, like a
especially
better
'cause I've
sort.
got just a way to hide games that you don't currently have installed. Is that even on there?
Yeah,
I'm
there
sure
is.
it
It's installed.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not looking through the options.
I go through recent, so like the most recent games that I
Yeah.
have played. But I want something that I could sort like, not just like alphabetically or anything, but like just year release because I want to see what my oldest games are. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
I want to go over a curator as well, make it a bit sort of easier to use and easier to get people to look at it.
You can manually
Yeah.
do it, but when you have like
Yeah.
800 games like me, it's kind of a hassle.
Yeah, yeah.
Eesh.
Another cool thing is that the game launch pages are going to have community screenshots, guides, and artwork kind of like shown firsthand. So
Nice.
more community stuff. Like that's what I like to see more from this kind of thing is like community front and center. Like I don't go to like a DeviantArt or whatever and like search images for Sonic. But if I
Not been typing in Tainted Game the Hedgehog, have you?
But if I'm like on Steam and I'm just browsing around or whatever, like I wouldn't mind seeing some artwork and stuff like that. That's what I have Reddit for. But yeah, they've said that they've had 14 million peak concurrent users, 33 million daily active players, and 67 million monthly active players. So the PC market is huge, and that's just Steam. So PC Master Race, right, guys?
Yeah, sure.
I can't find a Tainted Kane the Hedgehog, but there is a Kane the Hedgehog theme on
There's
YouTube.
a Thomas the Hedgehog. He's very
Thomas the
religious.
Hedgehog. Also.
He's very religious.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I search him up every like 6 months because I
To see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make him in
found
Sonic
Jesus yet?
Forces. You found Jesus the Hedgehog.
Is there? There's got to be, right?
I want to Google Thomas the hedge fund manager.
Oh,
Bad
dear.
jokes.
Oh, I'm just
But yes.
no, I'm just googling Jesus the Hedgehog because this is great.
It's great because you can make them in Sonic Forces. You can make your team of DeviantArt hedgehogs,
Yep.
and they've got that furry market down there. Man.
I want to name one like DeviantArt the hedgehog.
It's just goth as hell.
Yep.
Bit androgynous.
It has all of the accessories you can put on at once at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, belts everywhere. Just belts.
Belts,
So many
yeah.
belts. Yeah.
The more belts, the better.
Yeah. A Square Enix School of Design.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What were we saying about Steam?
There might be getting some updates. This is just leaked footage from or leaked slides from their biz dev meeting.
Nice. It needs it because it's convoluted to find your way around sometimes, and you want to find one simple option, and sometimes you have to do a bit of a search sometimes just to find something simple.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of good games get buried in a lot of like
Oh,
shitty
God, yeah.
like
Mm.
romance
Mhm.
novels with anime characters on come to the front a lot.
I remember when Assault Android Cactus released, it got on the main page of Steam for about an hour,
Wow,
and that was a year and a half ago before the floodgates really opened on Steam.
that's a crime.
Mm.
That's a real crime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Missile Cards didn't get anywhere near it.
I had a hard time like with the sale. Because
Yeah.
it would say like featured and it would have a few of the bigger games that like weren't that great of discounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like there wasn't just a place to go like, here's the Steam sale, basically.
I
Like
want the
here's
new
everything
releases
available.
page. I want actual new releases page without the DLC and videos. I just want the new
Right.
release games. I
Yeah.
want to see it. I don't
But
want
like
to
if they're
click
gonna advertise the Steam sale, you should be able to click on that ad that says,
Yeah.
summer Steam sale, and it takes you to everything
Like
that's on
you
sale.
say.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, and now it just does the whole curated list thing where you scroll
Yeah.
down it, just going, "We think you might like these games."
But most of them aren't on sale
It's
then.
really just stuff they want you to buy.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah. Like I bought that. One of the reasons I got Rebels of Ether is because it was on sale. But for some reason, I like the first couple of days of the sale, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like it
They
was on
kept showing
sale.
the same ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've got to
yeah,
wish
it
list
was on-
stuff like crazy, and then
Mhm.
check your wish list. That's your Steam store,
Yeah,
and then
pretty
enjoy the emails you get telling you that 40 of your games on your wish list are on sale.
Yeah.
But
Steam
thanks.
Link is always on sale.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always get those emails.
I've
But
got
you have
Deadpool.
to like regularly check check the Steam store to wish list stuff when it comes out,
Yeah.
or else it'll
Yeah.
get lost.
Yeah. Right.
I only bought. What did I buy? I only bought the Atari Classics collection in the Steam sale last time because I needed some footage of Missile Command for that video. and I didn't have a copy of Missile Command somehow, like in my ridiculous collection. Oh, but yeah, I used to spend so much on the Steam sales, and now I just can't be bothered. I can't bother to browse it anymore. It's just hassle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
Is that I own a lot of games, so when it's on sale, it's just like in your library.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything that sounded slightly good, either I already owned and like haven't touched, or was not on good enough sale.
But
like,
discounts aren't as deep as they used to be as well. They're like the discounts aren't as heavy as they were a few years ago. But at the same time, I won't begrudge the developers earning a little extra. You know, especially if they're indies.
Yeah, that's true. But I had a realization recently that like I think I've become a responsible, like financially responsible adult.
Oh no!
So I looked at this stuff and I'm like, I can afford that, but I don't really need it. I was like, no, I've become that guy. It was a really upsetting moment.
I tried to be financially responsible, but I went and brought a new Master System game and a PS2 this week, and I shouldn't have. And so, yeah, can't do it. Just can't be responsible.
Yeah, my big purchase was buying a Switch, and it's not even in my country. It's in from the U.S., and I have to pay import fees, but like it's still cheaper buying from the U.S.
Yeah,
and having it shipped.
And they're region unlocked, so
yeah, so whatever.
I think there's only one thing I know is apparently some region lock affects getting those My Nintendo coins. Like you can't get them if you're in a different region, but I'd imagine Canada and the US would probably be counted as the same region. I'd imagine
like North America, right?
So
yeah,
because it's either NTSC or PAL.
Yeah, but I know Japanese games
regions.
won't unlock them. You should look on the Japanese games that are available because they've got some. There's some games over there that are in box that you can't get in other countries. Like
And a lot of them have multiple languages on them. Like pretty much any European version of something has multiple languages on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I Am Setsuna's on box in the Japan. You can get Binding of Isaac in box now, can't you?
Yeah,
but it's not.
That
it's not over here.
Launch.
Yeah, we can't get it over here in the UK. It's coming out in September.
Wow. Yeah. Weird.
I would love that. That's such a good.
That was the launch title. Well, it was like a few days after launch. It was like a week or two.
Yeah, we ain't got it. Anyway, where were we?
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next topic. Justin can take a little cat nap while we talk about WWE 2K18.
Woo!
Yeah, so I initially wasn't really going to talk about this because Justin hates wrestling and I love wrestling. But Anthony's on, so I decided, hey, let's talk about 2K18 and how terrible the old releases were. And then this one seems to be doing something right.
I liked last year's game.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Man.
It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible. I'm looking forward to the new one, though, because they have... It does sound like they've done a lot. Yeah.
So they've added a few features in the new one. We've got Create a Match. So they're bringing back Create a Match, which is pretty cool. You can... an
actual proper mode of it rather than just the option tweaking.
Yeah, which is great. They added Road to Glory. They didn't really talk too much about that. There wasn't really too much to say about it.
That sounds to me like a ranked mode theme.
For
to me.
Online?
It's online. Yeah, it's an online theme mode. So I think it's going to be some sort of like ranked mode, maybe like an online universe mode where you and your friends play or something.
I don't really ever touch the online modes for these games.
No, neither do I. Because it never works.
They added Superstar Goals, which is kind of like your I guess it's probably like Body Slam a guy 20 times.
Micro achievements as such. Yeah.
You probably get skill points to add to your character.
Well, I want to know is Austin Aries in the game?
Oh yeah, that's true because he got released recently.
And is his banana in the game?
They've got to have his banana. He's gonna be in that game because they're so behind on roster updates for those games.
Which WWE game was Austin Aries in before?
Oh, I haven't even. Yeah, that's true.
Do you know he did the voice of the created wrestler, didn't he?
Really?
Years and years ago, yeah. In one of the last Xbox 360 ones, like SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, I think it was, or 2007.
Wow, really?
Yeah, going back that far. Yeah, one of those ones. But it was it was Austin Aries was the voice of the created wrestler.
Nice.
It was crazy.
So they're gonna add new cutscenes, which I guess is like cutscenes for their universe mode.
Yeah.
So like I guess more varied things can happen.
There's Royal Rumble's been redesigned, hasn't it? And Elimination Chamber's getting a redesign, and there's going to be 8 players at once. which they haven't done since SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, or was it Just Bring It?
I think it might have been Just Bring It.
Yeah, the first PS2 one, the really bad one. That had Jerry Lynn. So it was good because it had Jerry Lynn, but bad.
They've also added a new graphics engine, which is about
Nice.
time they've added a new engine to this game of some kind.
They've been building on the previous ones a lot.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Since the previous engines were like so, they've kept using them over and over, and it just gets tired after a while.
Yeah.
It's going to have free roaming in their. They're going to have like a free roaming hub apparently, like in the Road to WrestleMania games or the games with Road to WrestleMania in them. I kind of like thought about it like, you know, like how Destiny has that hub and like games are starting to incorporate that. Like Call of Duty is going to have something like that. So
I imagine it's going to be, what was the previous one that had something like that? Was it, wasn't Here Comes
like
the Pain?
SmackDown versus Raw, like 2007 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
because you could walk around backstage and there'd be like a room for the, you know, start rivalries off, and you'd go off and bump into someone to start a bit of storyline there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
But the most exciting thing for me, anyways, is they're gonna have new commentary, because like all the old that commentary has been around for forever. Like
last year's games had bloopers in the commentary. They left it in. They left in Jerry Lawler messing up his lines. They Michael Cole messed up lines and stuff. There's one where Jerry Lawler's saying a line and he stops and then starts saying the same line again.
Yeah, I've noticed they've always had like weird editing stuff to it, but like I never really noticed it because I usually turn the audio down and just listen to something. But I'm excited that they have Cole, Saxton and Corey Graves. Like I'm so excited they finally got Corey Graves for the game.
Like it'd be fun. It'd be good. It'd be better than JBL saying Taz's old lines for the 10th game in a row.
All right, so that's your quick wrestling corner.
Yeah, sorry about
Anthony and Thomas. we're wrestling geeks.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about the audio spike.
Looking towards Great Balls of Fire this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, tomorrow.
Are you not done?
Sorry. Sorry, we're done with the wrestling. We're done.
We're wrestling. So let's move on into Overwatch. So they've announced a new character called Doomfist. I thought he was pretty. I thought his like.
I can't wait for the porn parody of this guy.
Yeah, I like the design of him. He's kind of like
Doom-fisted.
If you go on Tumblr, which I guess no one should really ever do, you can see a lot of fisting things on there, if you know what I mean.
Just where he's punching people in the face, obviously. That's what we're referring to.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah.
So he's got a few moves. He's got a hand cannon, fire short range burst from the knuckles in his fist. Seismic slam. Doomfist leaps forward, smashes the ground. Rising uppercut. Uppercuts enemies into the air. Rocket punch. Lunges forward, knocks enemies back, dealing additional damage if they hit a wall. He generates a temporary personal shields when he deals ability damage, which that seems kind of cool.
It's helpful because he's got very low health.
Yeah.
So the more you're hitting people, the more chance you have of surviving. But that sort of balance, his range is very short.
And his ultimate is that he leaps into the sky and then crashes to the ground and deals damage. I haven't really played a lot of Overwatch recently, like maybe in the past year or so. But I know you play like almost every night, right?
I haven't played for a couple of weeks because editing, but he sounds really interesting. But I think they're going to have to tweak him a little bit. But he plays like a fighting game character.
Saying that he's like overpowered.
Yeah, he's very strong. I think the trouble is with him though is that it's going to be tough to actually heal him because he has to get right in on the enemies. Mm-hmm. Like you literally have to be on them to do damage to them. Yeah, because that shotgun's useless. Yeah. So you're going to have a healer that can get there. I think Anna's going to be the one to team with him because she can shoot him from a distance to keep him healed. But Lucio will be destroyed if he goes near it, and Mercy as well.
I don't know.
Like Mercy, it's like it's going to be interesting, but he's more like a combo fighter. So I think you want to wait for his cooldowns to go back, cool down, and jump in and hit his combos, and then get out, and that's sort of what might be the way to play him. But they'll tweak him. They'll tweak him a bunch. I wouldn't be surprised if they knock his health down further. Like,
yeah, when I used to play the game, like when it first came out, like I haven't played it since they added new characters, but whenever I played Lucio, I was always like a tank healer, so I'd like take shit tons of damage and just heal right back up.
Lucio can survive. He's got good survivability. He's all about moving around stuff, but they've tweaked him a lot recently. They've made his range of his boosts smaller, but they've made him stronger. But you can actually see his boost range now, so people know when they're inside his healing range better.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but they've done a lot of tweaking. You should play again. It's good fun.
I got a friend that's picking up the game soon with his new PC, so I might be back in on that.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
The only thing I have to say is they basically made him Gino from Mario RPG. Like he has a hand cannon. He has like a technical arm that can kind of like change to do punch it out and stuff. Like he's Gino.
He's the gritty.
He's Big Black Gino.
Big Black Gino. Wonderful.
I'd be okay with that being the episode title, by the way.
Big Black Gino.
Well, you're the one making the thumbnails.
That's true. So we'll see.
If you can make a Big Black Gino, that'd be great.
Do us proud.
I debated Doomfisted, but I don't want to look up the information for that. So
I hear Tumblr has great resources for images.
No.
Tell me I'm wrong. Like he has the similar moves. Just because he's not a wood toy, like there's still similarities. I miss Gino.
He doesn't turn up in enough Mario games. It's not.
I know.
Yeah.
Why isn't he Mario Kart?
Because Square owns him.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah,
That sucks.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Does Square make any racing games? Can they put Gino in one of those?
Square doesn't make any games.
Chocobo Racing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Chocobo
They just
Racing
develop
at one
games
time.
for like 10 years
Yeah.
and
Long
then
time ago.
publish other ones.
Yeah, they just produce games, sell studios, and then spend 10 years making games that never come out.
Yep.
that's actually weird. There isn't a racing game from them because Konami did one, and like Namco did Mario Kart Arcade, which was effectively a Namco racing game.
What had Pac-Man in it? It was still Mario Kart.
It had Pac-Man, the Prince from Katamari Damacy,
I didn't know
Ghosts. Yeah, it had all sorts. Not the first one, the second one did. There's also
Square did
Namco
Chocobo Racing.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, classic.
That random obscure little racing game.
that. Yeah.
On PS1, wasn't it? No, it was on PS2.
Yeah. They had a second one, I believe. There was a Chocobo Racing too.
Classic.
Square doesn't know how to race to anything.
Nah.
Boom. Boom fisted.
Or charge shots
If
fired.
they did a racing game, it'd be a really long point-to-point race, and the end would change halfway through, and suddenly it'd be a completely different race. And you're like, what's going on?
That's a good one.
It is.
All right, I'm gonna move on to some PlayStation 4 news, unless you guys want to riff some more on some Square Enix racing titles.
No, they
I
know
could
what
do
they
more,
did.
but carry on.
They know what they did. I love it.
Okay, so they're going to be Sony is going to be adding PlayStation 4 games to PlayStation Now.
Well,
Well,
gonna be adding
let's see
remastered
how many of
PS3
these are
games.
actually PlayStation 4 games. So I've got the list here. We've got Killzone Shadowfall, which I haven't finished, but it was a decent enough game.
that's a PS4 game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
PS4. God of War 3.
That's not.
It's a remastered edition.
Oh yeah, it was a remaster, yeah.
Saints Row 4.
That's not.
What?
Okay.
No, definitely not.
WWE 2K16, which I think it's not. I think it's a 360 game.
The 360 and PS3 versions were slightly different, weren't they? Because they were built on the previous one, but they are
Okay.
Okay.
technically the same.
But it's still a 2-year-old version. So
Yeah.
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 Tropico 5, which
technically, it's a
Yeah.
PS4 game.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
There's another that was like released on both, I think.
Ultra Street Fighter 4.
No.
Oh.
That doesn't count.
Wait for
F1
it, yeah. Pong, Pac-Man. Go on.
Yeah.
The definitive edition, please. Definitive Pong.
Yeah.
We got F1 2015, which I don't know.
Maybe.
2015.
Yeah.
Darksiders
Does anyone
2.
care?
I've got a feeling that was only
I
on
know.
PS4 and Xbox 360. I think on Xbox.
I have it on PC, but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean the
PC too,
definitive
yeah.
edition was a PS4 game, but
Yeah.
that's still not a PS4 game. Like
Yeah.
it's still a
Right.
remaster.
Yeah. Evolve, which was
True.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
MX versus ATV Supercross, which I didn't realize they were still making those games.
Me neither.
It's Encore, so I would assume that might be like a altered release. Also, I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Resogun, which was
Indie game, but fine.
Yeah.
Helldivers,
Indie game, but fine.
Broken Age, which is pretty good. I like
Indie
Broken
game,
Age.
but fine. Like, these are all ones that like could have come out. You know, they're not like graphically heavy or anything.
Yeah. Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Grim Fandango Remastered, which we need to
PS1 game.
keep
That's
recording.
PC game. Grim
It's a cool
Fandango
game.
was never on PS1.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, it's PC only. And it was
Oh.
never released for years. It's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Classic. Yeah.
Huh.
But it was a PC game.
Yep.
Very
PC
much.
game.
Yeah.
Damn good one, too.
Akiba's Beat, which I don't know what that is.
Nope.
Akiba's.
Mm.
Oh, that's the sequel to Akiba's Strip. That is a PS4 game.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one where you run around beating vampires by ripping their clothes off.
That sounds pretty good.
It's not.
Well, so what are you doing? Akiba's Beat. Oh gosh.
Let's get
it's
some
the-
sexy smell-o-vision in that game.
Akiba's Beat is like they lost their budget for the second game, and it is awful from what I've understood, from what I've seen. Apparently, the voice acting is terrible in it. Like they had to redub it or something, update the dubs and stuff like that. But apparently, it's awful.
Castle Storm Definitive Edition.
Nope.
Exist Archive: The Other Side of the Sky, which I've never
That's
heard
too long of a title.
of that. Too long.
But it's probably a PS4 game. They couldn't fit that title on the PS3.
There's not enough bits.
Yeah.
Not enough RAM. Nidhogg.
No.
Super Mega Baseball.
Super
Maybe.
Mega
Who cares?
Baseball.
Wait,
Not just regular
and Mega Baseball. Super Mega Baseball. Blimey.
Yeah.
Super Mega.
Super Mega Ultra.
So
HD
there's
units.
effectively like 2 or 3 like actual like PS4 rendered games on here. I'm not including like multi-platform indie titles or remasters.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That's sad.
I've never used PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how well it works or anything like that.
Okay.
It doesn't.
So I'm the only one
Doesn't-
here that's actually played it. I talked about this like maybe a couple of weeks ago before E3. I tried it out and it doesn't really work all that well. Like sometimes, like because it's streaming, you need to have like a really good internet
Yeah,
service.
stable connection. Yeah.
So sometimes if you don't have a good internet connection, it'll just freeze or stop, or like the screen will not register, and then it'll come back, and then everything is catched up and killed you. So, you can't really
So it's not
play
like
the game.
because SharePlay works really well. Like, so it doesn't work like that.
No.
Blimey.
And it's like $20 a month,
Blimey.
and they have a special offer of like $10, but like after that it's like $20. So yeah.
I mean, did you ever use on Live years ago?
I haven't actually, no.
On Live actually worked. It sort of worked for
Really?
me. Yeah, I played Arkham Asylum, Arkham City on it for a while, and all sorts. I tried the demos out,
Huh.
and it actually worked fine. I don't know if it depended on how close you were to a server or something, but
Probably.
I
Yeah.
couldn't play Quake
I
on
mean-
it or Unreal Tournament.
The PS4 is
Like-
notable for like neutered internet speeds anyway.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
So-
true.
Yeah, I've heard
Very
people like
true.
cracked open their PlayStation 4s and like got like awesome download and upload speeds on it.
Huh.
It's crazy.
But I've used SharePlay, like me and Ducks Ahoy.
Yep.
Don't you take it? Yeah. When I did the Assault Android Cactus video, I wanted multiplayer footage, and you can't do multiplayer You can only do multiplayer locally on that game. So we used SharePlay to do it over the internet.
That's cool.
Like I passed the controller to her, and it worked fine. Like
Huh.
it's pretty crazy. Like you could just like the game doesn't have online multiplayer, but that works.
Sorry, what was that, Justin?
But I tried to do SharePlay.
Oh yeah,
get it
that's
to
right.
work.
Apparently, I was in a different like country. Like the game wasn't released in my country, which is like absolutely false.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
weird.
There's weird stuff there.
So yeah, Hopefully, some more PlayStation 4 games come to this service.
But it's not going to matter at this point because no one likes it.
If they could,
They were saying originally it was going to
game.
have PS1 games, didn't they? They said it was going to be PS1, PS2 as well, didn't they? Originally,
did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I swear they said it was going to be they were going to put loads of PS1, PS2 games on it, and then it just
I
kind
remember
of
talking about backwards compatibility, but that was like PlayStation 3. I'm not too sure.
Just give me an update for it. I want an update so I can just put my discs in there.
Yeah.
Plus, now the main guy
Xbox
hates
One
the Rebel games.
Yeah, I want a console I can record PS1 game footage from that I don't have to use component leads for, because I get ghosting and I don't like it. It annoys me. I don't know.
Let's move on into questions. This question segment. You got a question in?
Oh no.
Questions.
Okay, so the person that wrote in wanted to be anonymous for the question, and they asked us basically what's
That's
our
suspicious.
I know who it is, but I don't want to share their name because they said they didn't.
I bet I can guess.
I know you probably know who it is. But they asked us what our honest thoughts on VR is, and
High Under the Moons.
it's why'd you have to out them? I'm trying to. I'm gonna edit that out. Anyways.
Yeah, bleep it. Yeah. Not exactly who they.
So yeah, we've talked a little bit about VR in the past here on this podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go straight to Justin on this one first, because I think a lot of people know his stance on this stuff firmly. So.
I think it's dumb. I don't think it's dumb specifically, but I think there's too much of a focus on it right now for the technology that we have available. I have said this before. Until they can get one-to-one latency wireless transmission to VR headsets, it's not going to take off like in a major way, because it's just, for one, there's too much that goes into it right now for PC. You have to have like a really good computer that can actually handle VR output. You have all these cords going from your PC to your VR headset to actually make it work. And then if you're wanting to do one with like the motion trackers, you have to have a big enough room that you can have the cameras set up and like nothing around it for you to trip over. And all this, like, it's too much work. The average person isn't going to be able to do that with their space. A lot of people that like review VR games and stuff have to like empty out a room, and they're usually precious apartments because it's people that are in like or something where it's all lofts, just to be able to set it up, or like in their their actual office of the company they work at, they have to have a VR room, all that. Like it's dumb. So the only thing that's really viable right now is mobile VR, which then like graphically they're not really there yet, because like even the 2K screens, if you take that in VR, like it's splitting the resolution, so you're getting 1080p output on each eye, which when it's that close you can really see the pixels. Like I have the Google Daydream, and I've played around with that, and I mean it's good. Like it works well with the controller and everything, but you can see the individual pixels of your phone screen, and it's a really nice screen when you're not in VR. So even that, like we don't really have the technology in the phones to really be able to do like good VR. Like you can't simulate these console games or anything on mobile. And then the consoles just. Especially the PlayStation VR. I haven't played with it myself, but I've heard enough about the sacrifices they had to make for it to work, which isn't great. And then, like I said, the PC stuff's just too expensive at this point and too limited to really be viable for the masses. So I like AR more, like the idea of actually like augmenting the things around you in the world. Like I don't know if it was a dream or if it was like a Microsoft presentation or something, but I remember like an AR Conquer game.
Yeah, there is.
Like, okay, that was a real thing.
Yeah.
They have like Conquer running around like on bookcases or something. Like
what's that thing called? The Microsoft one? HoloLens, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. Like, playing a game like in your room, like it maps your room out, creates a level out of that, and if you want to do a different level, you just go to a different room.
I said the 3DS ones are pretty cool. The little like the shooter games and stuff like that. They were fun.
Oh yeah.
Like how has there not been? You remember on the Wii U? Was it Project Zero? That had the thing where you had to scan around your room and catch the ghosts with the Wii.
Oh,
was it the Wii?
Or something like that. Yeah, it was the Wii U.
What's that called? Like, the camera game, like the paranormal camera game.
Yeah, like they should do something with that, with like 3DS, like going around your room. taking photos with it. That'd be awesome. Like, have ghosts just pop through your wall or something like that.
Fatal Frame, is that what that game was?
Fatal Frame, yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, it's called Project Zero over here now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry.
I thought that was the subtitle or something.
No. I keep forgetting we get different names over here sometimes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, my copy of the Rundown, that film. It was called Le Trachea in Canada, in French Canada. That's what my copy says on it. And in the UK, it was called Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, it happens to be the name of the new Jumanji film.
Yep.
Yeah.
So The Rock has now been in 2 films called Welcome to the Jungle.
Awesome.
Yeah,
The Rundown is a pretty legit movie. People don't like it, but I don't know.
it's good.
John William Scott and The Rock were a good combo.
It's legit. It's a legit good movie.
Yeah.
Just hold it up. Yeah.
Jumanji 2 is called Welcome to the Jungle just because they got the name, they got the rights for that song, right?
Yeah, and then they just played it over and over in that trailer.
So
What's the
Burnout
name of
Paradise
this movie again?
Burnout Paradise always had its name changed because they couldn't secure the license to Paradise City, and they didn't want to call it, because they couldn't call the city Paradise City if they couldn't get the license for it, because apparently Guns N' Roses owned that name. So they were almost had to change the name of the game, like, because of that. Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought it was still
That's
called Paradise Night.
It's called Burnout Paradise, but when I was working, because that was one of the games I worked on, and they were saying that basically they didn't fully secure the Paradise City soundtrack to a few months before release.
Got it.
So there was a point where they were like, we might have to change the name of the game.
That's funny.
Anyway, VR.
Yeah, VR. Anthony, what's your thoughts on that?
So there's a YouTuber called Under the Moons. Don't know if you know him. He came around my house and brought his PlayStation VR with me, with him and Cardinal Smith, another YouTuber, good guy. They both popped around. We were playing some PlayStation VR games, and I had a lot of fun with it. I played that gangster heist thing. Yeah, that was actually quite fun. I had more fun like picking up the cigarettes and the ashtrays from the table and throwing them at people.
Yeah, that's some of the best
during
stuff
the
in
cutscenes.
VR is just like throwing stuff and just like messing around with the world around you, right?
And there was like a car chase bit, and you could like open the car door and just turn around and shoot the guy behind you and close it. You could reload the guns. You could like get the gun clips for the Uzi and just line them up, and you could just like slam the gun on them to reload it. It would like work like that.
Cool.
But it was fun. But this you're right about like the pixels on it. It's only 720p, I think it is, the PlayStation VR, and you can really see it. Plus, the field of vision isn't super wide. Like if you turn your eyes, you can see the black part of the screen that you just can't. Just the screen dies. I also played some platforming game. It's really actually quite fun that where your view is the camera and you're platforming little guy around, like jumping him around platforms. So you have to look around the level to get him to guide around the level. But I've got an Oculus Rift in here and a Dev Kit 1 that my Cryptopocalypse co-host Matt dumped in my room the other day and told me to set up, and it's still in the box. And I don't know if I can be asked to set it up because I have enough cables coming out the back of my PC, and that's hassle. But it's nice looking. It's all in the box, it's all sealed and everything. But I think VR's like you say, you need low latency wireless because there's too many cables. The amount of cables that was set up for PlayStation VR was crazy. It was just like, because there's a separate box and you have HDMI cables going to that and then one going to the VR thing, and then you're still like hooking that to the TV and all around to the console for a port, and it's crazy. And I've heard Vive is like way worse for that.
Well, yeah, that's a room scale operation, right?
Yeah.
So you need
Doesn't that
room
need 2
for it.
HDMI ports as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got like lamps or whatever that you have to set up too.
Yeah. I think though, if you've got enough money to buy a full Vive set, you've probably got enough money to have a spare room.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's the point I was making. Is like it's fine for like the people that can use it. Like you said, there's some really cool mechanics that can be done with it and stuff like that. But they're trying to tell everyone that it's consumer grade, and it's not.
No.
Like the future of VR seems cool, but it's just not to the point yet where like they should really be marketing it to everyone.
Yeah.
That seems dumb.
I remember years ago when they tried to make it a thing in the 90s, and it was like 10 frames per second the game was running at, and you had those massive headsets. And if you were lucky, you got the one that had the motion tracking ring thing around you. And there was like, there was a game, sort of a deathmatch game with knights and swords that was on it. And it was, I remember playing that in a Sega World we used to have in Bournemouth. And that wasn't very good. That made you sick.
But that Virtual Boy, though.
That virtual I was always more impressed with, there was a fighting game, Time Something. There's a Sega fighting game that has like holographic fighters. That impressed me way more.
Oh yeah.
Like you have
Virtua Fighter?
No, it wasn't that. It was actually holographic projection. There's like a weird dome. If you look it up, it's called Time Crusaders or something weird like that. And it's like a black dome thing, and it projects the fighters into the middle of the dome, and you can like put your hand into it. But it was basically just using a mirror reflection trick to make them appear. But that impressed me more because I was like looking at characters floating in space.
Yeah.
And it was weird. And that sort of thing.
And that's where
really
AR
cool.
comes in to me.
Yeah. You can do crazy stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
that's cool. But VR's still, I think give it 10 years and they'll probably have like wireless ones. It'll be fine. Like probably less than that.
Yeah.
But because you could do like wireless HDMI dongles now that you plug in and it'll stream a game from it and stuff like that. And link it. Like you've effectively just got to put that into the thing and make it latency free. And yeah, I think it's some way to go. But it's nice. But it's an iToy, isn't it?
And they've had prototypes of wireless ones. They're just not.
Yeah.
They're not to where they need to be for to actually sell.
Yeah.
They had them at CES this year, and like they seemed cool. They were a lot smaller. They were kind of like more of a band across and around.
Nice.
Like all the tech was in the back of it, so it really was like a solid piece. But like the specs on it were a lot lower than things like the Oculus, and the battery was not great, so you couldn't use it for very long and stuff like that. So there's still all those issues they have to get over. Really, they need to get past the lithium-ion batteries that we're still struggling with after like 30 years of new tech.
Man, in like 20 odd years, this is going to seem so quaint when VR headsets like Geordie LaForge's things.
Yeah,
you just put on like I would love that.
I heard Google Glass is making a comeback, but I haven't really seen too much about it.
That thing worries me. Google Glass is a bit scary to me.
Too many people watching their porn while walking down the street. I don't like it.
Well, didn't you hear about people doing stuff like sticking AR codes up on stickers so that if someone walked past with Google Glass and it caught sight of it, it would just like load a website up in their vision or something?
Oh wow!
No,
that's rude.
Yeah,
I heard like they were getting banned from movie theaters and stuff because people would like they have a camera on them at all times, so it's a major invasion of privacy. And if that's your prescription glasses, which usually they are, if you have Google Glass, then it's like you're telling someone to take their glasses off. So there's issues there too.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to put 3D glasses on with the Google Glass on.
Yeah.
So there was actually a news story that I skipped over by accident, but it's VR related. So let's just talk a little bit about that. I
was wondering.
So Palmer Lucky actually donated some money to Cross VR. It's a patron that's set up to help bridge the gap between Oculus and Vive. If you remember, there was a thing called Revive. It was a program that let people play Oculus-specific games on the Vive system. And then Oculus ended up blocking it and then ended up removing it a little bit afterwards. But yeah, that's another thing people need to, like, we will have to deal with in the future is, like, are these VR headsets going to be specific? Like, are they going to be locked out of content with other things? Like, Oculus is Facebook, so if Facebook comes out with some VR stuff, is it going to be locked just to that system? Is it going to go to the Vive? Is it going to go to the Samsung Gear VR or whatever? Like, that's another thing.
There's not enough content right now. They need to stop being like little babies about it and actually share the few things they put out for their systems.
There's very little reason to technologically lock them out.
Right.
Like, very little. I
mean,
mean,
they can't handle it. Like the mobile ones obviously aren't going to get the big, Oculus games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it all comes down to if it will do the tracking. That's probably about it. Like, if you could do motion tracking, that's about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this podcast. Thanks, Anthony, for coming on out.
No troubles, man. Thanks for inviting me, sir.
If you want to tell the fine people out there where to find your stuff, go ahead and let them know.
Oh, yeah. Got a YouTube channel called Mellow Gaming. There's a podcast on SoundCloud. SoundCloud called Crit Apocalypse. And at LV54 Space Monkey on the Twitters. Hit me up. Tell me I'm wrong about stuff.
We got Justin.
I am Zero Score around the internet. If you look me up and I'm not there, I'm not at that place, but I am everywhere else. that's about it, I think. Go watch Final Fantasy VI story play because Lowe's in it, and he's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Lo, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, all with letters. I upload videos sometimes. But yes, definitely go watch the Final Fantasy VI story play, especially if you've never actually played the game before, because I feel like this is probably the best possible way to experience.
It's actually going through the whole game.
If you like narratives, but you don't necessarily like the grind of RPGs, this is for you.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And it's just such a good freaking game.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So
my aim is to get a Japanese copy of it. So I've got a PS1 copy, but I've got Japanese Final Fantasy 4, and I want the Final Fantasy 6 as well because they're both great. They're so good.
Plus, the PS1 version is not great. So if you can play it another way, please do that.
It was the only one released in the UK. No other version ever got released over here until that version came out. So I jumped on that.
Yeah, gotcha. I did it on Game Boy Advance because I liked the way they updated not the visuals, but like the sprite art of the portraits, and fixed some of the weird stuff with the script and things like that.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, drinking a beer at CSG Thomas. You can also find me here at tryshot.com. What?
They can find you always drinking a beer?
Yes, always. Until the day I die. Anyways, yeah, you can check me out, CSG Thomas, on Twitter. You can check me out at chartshot.com. That's where you can find all these lovely faces, including Anthony's on this podcast. If you have a question for the podcast, you can always email me, Thomas at chartshot.com. Till then, guys, enjoy your games.
Enjoy your beer.
Enjoy your beer.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hope you find your